Death becomes us, every living one of us. And in death, we become something new. Inspiration, sustenance, an opening for the next guy in line. In Sitka, Alaska, that never-ending cycle is honored at the deepest level. Here, life is an ever-spinning kaleidoscope that's respected by man, but ruled by nature. How to even describe the light in Alaska? It's like the 49th state has a different sun. This place is closer to home than it is another planet, but not by much. Welcome to Sitka. It's located on Baranof Island on Alaska's southeast corner, 100 miles from British Columbia. A population of 8,600 in a city borough of 2,800 square miles. You do the math.
Hi, how are you doing? What are you up to? Hey, that's okay. Hi.
Captain Scott Miller. Kind, calm, relaxed. Buddha in a bib.
I am the captain of the Gracie K. We work with Kingfisher charters, and I've been in Sitka since 1987. I love the water. I love being in it, on it, under it. I'm a diver as well, and just really have found a place here that is unbelievable and certainly something to be experienced. Yelloweye, that's an amazing fish. It's beautiful. It's got that vivid yellow eye and beautiful color. And these creatures are just coming out of the deep and you never know what you're gonna get. Look at, that's a good bend.
Yeah.
Yelloweye, it is a one-a-year fish, which sounds crazy. Like, so you only get one of these? And especially when people start seeing a lot of them, they're like, why do we only get one? I mean, we should be getting lots of these things. But that's part of conservation. And conservation doesn't mean that you can't catch a lot. It means that we want to sustain as many as we can. And right now, based on the statistics and the studies that have been done, one a year is about what this species can handle. What happens with these fish and why you see that bladder sticking out is they get a barotrauma, which is decompression sickness if you're a diver. and they can't acclimate quick enough. And so the whole key is to get them back to a depth. Everything reabsorbs and they swim away.
The Yelloweye represents only one of the 9 species caught in Sitka. Let's meet the rest, shall we? It's September. The water temperature hovers around 50 degrees. By December, it will drop to a hair above freezing. What survives and thrives in a world that cold? More species than you can keep track of.
You got a mix of different fish. Salmon like creel, they like herring. What we've seen a lot of is little black cod. So black cod, you'll find them at 3,000 feet, but when they're young, they're up at the surface. Some of the deep water fishing we do is black cod, and the black cod is it's a new fishery in many respects. A lot of us have done this for a while, but it's unique because we're fishing at up to 2,000 or more feet, and it sounds crazy, but we're using electric reels. Some guys are still using manual reels, but with the black cod, you get these creatures of the deep, things that you never realized existed.
China rockfish. They're found along the coasts of Alaska, as well as British Columbia and California. Spiny dogfish, the cat-eyed bycatch. Black sea bass. These great-tasting fish max out at 9 pounds.
I'm not going to worry about the eye right now.
In Alaska, maximizing natural resources is a way of life. There is no assumption that the bounty has no bottom. Take, for example, artist and outdoorsman Jerry Wright. Using acrylic paints and cloth, Jerry creates fish prints to memorialize his catches. The original mount.
Just kind of lay it so it's in the middle. A couple hundred years ago, the Japanese, when they'd go out fishing, they'd take some rice paper and some black ink with them. And then if they caught a big fish, they'd put the ink on it and put the rice paper, and then they'd come back to the dock and say, you know, look what I caught. And then it evolved into more of an art form. We got all the fish with big scales turn out the best.
There it is right there. So look at the jaw structure of that. Isn't that incredible?
A mouth the size of a carport. Angry icicles for teeth. An eagerness to eat the largest prey possible. Lingcod are an Alaskan staple.
They're like dinosaurs. We get a lot of comments on this. How ugly. Oh my gosh, look at that thing, it's horrible. Look at the teeth on that. The longer I do this, the more beauty I see in all of it. Isn't that incredible? The lingcod, there's a prehistoric fish if I ever saw one, and it's just got these enormous teeth, and it's got this incredible coloration. and this thing is throwing a wild action. It's just amazing. Sometimes it's a snapshot moment where you just go, wow, that is crazy. Look at the size of that thing. That is a big old ring.
Way to go.
Thank you.
Next, we open the barn door. The big, flat bottom dweller, halibut.
Okay, buddy, you ready?
The day starts at Kingfisher Lodge, nested in the hillside overlooking Sitka Sound.
There are certain lodges that not only let you catch fish, but they also make the experience something that you want to come back to.
Halibut effectively use the current and their ample width and surface area to thwart efforts to bring them to the surface. The nickname barn door is an appropriate one.
The halibut, there's so many different places you can go here. We've got volcanic rock, and it's all over the bottom. So often, instead of drift fishing, like a lot of people would do for halibut, we set down, set up anchor, and we send out scent. And so you're waiting. And initially, when I first did that, I thought, what are we doing? This is taking forever. But I realized if you put in time, you're going to have fish show up.
As is the norm in Alaska, nothing goes to waste. The bait consists of a generous helping of salmon guts pinned on a circle hook. The scent brings them in.
We're in the middle of the sound. We got Edgecombe to the north of us, Bjork Island to the south of us. There you go. It's a little smaller. There we go. Oh, that was good. There's a nice keeper. So you got about a 34-incher there. Look at the meat on that. Your muscles are all the way here, so quite a bit of fillet there.
Too big, huh?
Too big. Oh, there you go. Not a keeper, but a pretty one. I'm gonna have to bring this aboard and make sure I get a good release on it. Come on, buddy, come on.
Oh, angry.
It's amazing, these fish, it doesn't take anything just to calm these down. Just put a hand on their cheek, rub their back, they're perfect. All right, let's go ahead and put this thing back in the water. There it goes.
The final target, salmon, Alaska's marquee species. Gracie Cay heads southeast out of Sitka Sound into the Gulf of Alaska. Jumps and turns, zigs and zags, Coho salmon make for a proper fight on light tackle. You can distinguish them from Chinook salmon by the absence of spots on the lower half of the tail. While human development has impeded their habitats, hatchery programs have kept coho populations strong.
There's 5 species of salmon: the kings, the cohos, the sockeyes, the chum, and the pink. All of them are here. We've got river systems that they come into. We also have streams that are full during the summer of various species. The cohos are a warmer bodied fish as far as where they like the temperature to be warmer. It's easier to find them on the surface as the season progresses. Lately we've been fishing 60, 70 feet, and you'll find that that is more effective. If you just go deep, you may just be catching kings. So we try to basically set the depth for the species that we're trying to find. Oh, you guys. Ready? Come right into you. Nice. That's a beautiful coho, you guys. Some people actually prefer this to king salmon. I like it all. That is a toad. The males get that distinctive hook nose. It's ready to fight for its nest.
Kings are the most prized among the Pacific salmon species. They're also the largest. The IGFA all-tackle record came from Alaska's Kenai River. It weighed in at 97 pounds.
Oh, it's great. Look at that.
Big haul.
For the guests at Kingfisher Lodge, the Alaska experience doesn't end at checkout. They're sent home with coolers of fish they caught. Back in the processing area, there's work to be done.
What's your perfect group of people to have? Like, what would you?
That's funny. That's a really strange question because I think every group is perfect. When they step on board, I'm like, all right, here we go, and they create their own experience. You could have CEOs for multi-million-dollar companies, and you could have a farmer and his wife that this is their lifetime trip. But they get together and they work together and they become this team that just wants to catch fish. I love that. I love seeing people say, no, you go ahead, or no, I'll get this one. And for my personality, that's part of the fun of what I do.
The Last Frontier, Alaska's famous nickname. Yes, we get it. Alaska is rough and remote and untamed. But there's another meaning tucked in there. When man is done sucking up the resources everywhere else, Sitka will still be reusing, conserving, respecting. It is and will be the last frontier.